On the biggest stage in the world, FanDuel is changing the game because sometimes your player gets subbed off and your bet goes with them. Not anymore. With FanDuel Super Sub, if your player's subbed out, your bet stays in. That's right. If your player leaves the match, your bet continues on with the substitute. So you're still in it until the final whistle. Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
21 plus select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 plus DCKYWY. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. Call 800-327-5050. Massachusetts. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY in New York. Call 877-770-7867. Louisiana.
Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi. Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
It's time for Radio Royalty with James Golden and America's Princess of Policy, Princess Di.
The princess of goodness, of lightness, of beautifulness, of analysis-ness, of common sense-ness is in the houseness with us. That would be her wealth, ladies and gentlemen, is immeasurable. Yes, they're the crown jewels, but then again, there are things beyond the crown jewels, and our princess has them all. Princess Diana in the house. Good morning, Your Highness.
Good morning, Sir James, the Duke of Democracy and the Hammer of Truth.
The Hammer of Truth. Well, damn.
Well, I think it was the Sledgehammer of Truth one of your callers came up with, and I love that name. So thank you for the intro, but I give it back to you.
Mm-hmm. Well, here we are. What are we? We haven't even talked about the race stuff, and I think I'm going to let it go for the day because I'm tired of talking about it. Democrats still... Now they want a new trial for the kid that got sent to 35 years for jail for stabbing to death another kid. They say it was an all-white jury. It was not an all-white jury, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the race wars with the Democrats are on. Let's see. The Justice Department has approved Paramount's bid to acquire Warner Brothers. I wonder if the folks at CNN are celebrating.
Oh, my. This will be fun.
This could be the one that we've been waiting for. CNN.
Another meltdown, right?
Yeah, it could happen. I mean, you see the way they're still BI itching and moaning. We were going to talk about that. We didn't get to it yet. Scott Pelley and his temper tantrum, he's fired over being fired from CBS, and they're murdering 60 Minutes, and 60 Minutes is being murdered. Murder. They murder. And if they think 60 Minutes got murdered, what happens if they go in and take a look at what CNN's been doing?
It's going to be all we can say at this point. But no one's paying attention to Scott Pelley. I think that is an inside baseball story because the media is upset. Most people have never heard of him, of Scott Pelley, because people have stopped watching 60 Minutes decades ago. So this is a little bit of a, tempest in a teapot that will be quickly forgotten.
Okay. And then we have, okay, what else? Oh, the SPLC hearings were this week. That was interesting. Act Blue hearings this week. And the woman clammed up and took the fifth on everything that runs that joint.
I tell you, that pleading the fifth, some of the memes on social media were so hilarious. I don't know if you saw interspersed with that one movie where the guy pleads the fifth. And multiple times, it was very funny. So that was some clever stuff. I'll send it to you because it's very entertaining.
Okay, good. I want to see that. Yeah, I plead the fifth. Cardi B had on that whole Carmelo Anthony thing. We didn't even play Cardi B. I'm sure you're looking forward to hearing what Cardi. Let's just listen to a little bit of it, Princess, just for a second, because I just want to hear it. Because this is America. and people are bitching. I'm sorry. People are itching and moaning about Elon Musk and how he made his money. And Cardi B has millions of dollars in America. Where else can a stripper become like not only a huge success in the music business, and she is huge in the music business, but now she's also a political pundit as well. And she is. Cardi, yes. Cut 29. Princess and I going to listen to a little bit of Cardi B. I didn't even know who Cardi B was until some of the young folks around me told me. And then they told me what her most famous single was. And I was like, what? That's a single? Go.
As a mom, right?
Right.
What I would tell my sons,
right.
Don't let nobody punk you. Don't ever let nobody make you feel less of a man. And always defend yourself. Always defend yourself. I highly doubt that Anthony went over there by himself to a tent full of strong-ass football players. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to cause a ruckus. And I'm going to cause a ruckus because I have a knife on me. Just because you have a knife and you against 14 boys that are strong, that tackle people for a living, that's not going to make you feel tough because somebody's going to knock that knife off your hand. I highly doubt that he went over there.
Okay, so that's how Cardi B starts. So,
oh my goodness. Where do you even start?
Well, they're not professional football players. They don't play football for a living. They're high school students. He did go over into a tent with the opposing team by himself with a knife. And don't let nobody punk you. I highly doubt that they could. Anyway, that's Cardi B. And we have more. It goes on for 6 minutes, over 6 minutes, of Cardi B's analysis of what took place in the... Anyway.
Thank you.
So...
For sharing.
Do you know what the name of her single is, by the way, her biggest selling record?
I think, does it start with W?
Yeah, what's the rest of it, Princess?
I'm not saying.
What?
I am not saying.
Why not? It's a record.
Okay, you say. You put me in these boxes. I'll tell you.
Hold on a minute. Where's Rod?
Something about you really enjoy this.
Where's Rod? Rod, where did Rod go? Rod.
Yeah.
What's the name of Cardi B's biggest record, bro?
WAP.
What?
It's called WAP. W-A-P.
That sounds like a racial slur or something. What is it?
It's WAP. I'm not telling you what that stands for.
Why does anybody want to talk about Cardi B? You people.
Listen.
First Princess Diana and now you. Nobody wants to talk about Cardi B.
No, because listen, we've been down this rabbit hole before, bro. And I dug myself up out of this one. Nah, I'm not going to have it. I'm going to just tell you, WAP, 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 WAP.
Okay, well, I just find it interesting, ladies and gentlemen, that both Princess Diana and Rod know what it is. I don't know what it is, and neither one of them will tell me.
I guess you'll have to Google it.
You guess okay, I'll have to Google it. Princess Diana, now let's talk about Elon Musk and all his money. Are you jealous? Are you mad, Princess, that Elon has money?
Oh, my goodness. I am celebrating it. I think it is just the most wonderful thing. And, as Americans, we need to celebrate success and achievement because the country benefits from achievers, and the whole country does. I think it's so interesting that the left has been waiting for this moment because it was inevitable that his, on paper would be worth $1 trillion. They've been sort of talking about it for a while. And, the thing that is interesting to me is what caused it. It was the IPO of SpaceX, which a lot of people were excited about, were interested in. You and I talked about it briefly last week.
Yeah.
Everyone knew this was coming. This was like a cool thing. And what put him over the $1 trillion mark was voluntarily people, individuals, and corporations were out of their own free will investing in his company. This was completely voluntary. This was not compulsory. And so you have money flowing voluntarily, which is capitalism, from the investors to the company, the IPO. And it is called a moral failure by the left. And they never, ever, ever talk about the moral aspect or the moral failure aspect of the government, the federal government, taking in $5.23 trillion in 2025 in 1 year. All of a sudden, the left understands what $1 trillion is. They never, ever, ever complain or care when compulsory $1 trillion are removed from the pockets of you and I and given to the United States government, to the Treasury. This doesn't bother a single leftist. But when an individual, by achievement, by accomplishment, is pleasing to his fellow man, as Dr. Walter Williams always used to say, that was the basis of capitalism. You have to serve and please your fellow man, who then wants to invest or can turn over dollars to buy your product. It is a completely voluntary interaction, as opposed to the force of the government taking it from our pockets. And I just wanted to, if you remember, you played some Elizabeth Warren, and we're talking about Elizabeth Warren. What put her on the map in 2011, when she was running for Senate from Massachusetts, was a 1-minute rant. And I put it on your list of possibly if we could play that.
And we have it. So here is Elizabeth Warren, the speech that put Elizabeth Warren on the map.
There is nobody in this country who got rich on his own. Nobody.
That's right.
You built a factory out there. Good for you. But I want to be clear. You moved your goods to market on the roads the rest of us paid for. Yep. You hired workers the rest of us paid to educate. You were safe in your factory because of police forces and fire forces that the rest of us paid for. You didn't have to worry that marauding bands would come and seize everything at your factory and hire someone to protect against this, because of the work the rest of us did. Now look, you built a factory and it turned into something terrific or a great idea. God bless. Keep a big hunk of it. But part of the underlying social contract is you take a hunk of that and pay forward for the next kid who comes along.
You didn't.
Now there you have it. There you have it. That was right. I was just going to say, Obama, the next year in his 2012 campaign speech, he said, you didn't build that. If you've got a business, you didn't build that. Somebody else made that happen. And it was the reaction from Elizabeth Warren's rant, that angry, vicious, it's, basically saying, God bless you and good for you. It's the sarcasm and the hatred of people who have built something. And it's like, oh, well, it wasn't you. We supplied the roads and we protected you from marauding bands. Okay, they're the marauding bands. The Democrat Party is marauding bands. And so they're not being protected. They're being hated and targeted. And so I just want to remind people that Elon paid $11 billion in taxes in 2021. It is the largest tax bill in history. And so this accusation that the rich don't pay is bogus. 100% bogus. You've heard these numbers. The top 10% of earners pay over 70% of federal income taxes. The top 5% pay 60%. The top 1% pay 40%. The bottom 50%, which is the vast majority, the majority of this country, pay 3.3%. So this idea that the rich are stealing from us, the rich don't pay their fair share, is a lie. And it gets repeated over and over and over again. And it heightens resentments. It heightens, basically envy. And it also takes away our ability to celebrate our own countrymen's success. because you look at Starlink, one of Elon's companies, which has brought the internet to people who had no way of accessing it in this country, in rural areas, and also in war-torn countries. There has been such an explosion of free speech thanks to Elon Musk, and that is the reason for the hatred. That is the underlying reason for a lot of the hatred, is because when he purchased X, it allowed the blossoming of information that was not controlled by the left, by the globalist left. And you see this now in Europe with the unrest, basically, from the criminality of the invasive migrant forces that the elites have foisted on the country. And the crime that results is now coming home to roost. And the entire European leadership is targeting Elon Musk because it isn't the, attempted decapitation that makes that is the problem. It's Elon Musk allowing the people to complain about the crime. That is the problem. And that has been just the latest version of the left targeting of Elon, and the fact that he has now been successful and that people voluntarily invested in his company is the reason for them to now say he really needs to be attacked and all of his wealth stolen. It is a lie. It is evil. And I think that it needs to be countered by the rest of us celebrating Elon Musk's success, because it is America's success.
The James Golden Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.